morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Good to see you. Big waves to you. In case you didn't catch that, Arlene spent years in the education school system. I don't know if she wrote tardy slips or not to students when they were late for class, but I'm sure if I would have been in her school, I might have got a tardy slip. Okay. I might have been known as the guy that never could find the classroom at the right time. All right. Well, now that we're all grown up and I abide by the rules and regulations now, uh, there is a chance for everybody. So, the word for today on this beautiful Monday, which we all are going to have, listen, hopefully you came into this call super excited for your week, for your Monday. If you didn't, when you leave this call, you're going to be super excited for your week and for Monday. Okay. We're going to put that into the future. So, the word for today is disposition. Now, Andrea had a reaction to this word, right? So she calls me and she's like, okay, 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 it's speaking to me today. So, disposition, a person's usual mood, their attitude, a way of responding to people and situations. So, simply put, your disposition is your atmosphere that you carry around with you. Now, the hardest person to judge sometimes is ourself. Okay? So, Andrea, just so you know, this is no judgment on you this morning. This is all judgment pointing back. And I challenge all of us, like talking about disposition, look at yourself internally. And let me ask you a question. What are you carrying around from that? It's what would people say about Glenda Watson when she walks into a room? What would people say about Brent Palmer? What about Alan Schultz? Do we walk in a room, Arlene, and do we light the room up, or do we walk into the room and there starts to be a cloud and people are going, oh, this seems dark in here, a little rainy in here, right? We could be a good person and still walk around with a little bit of a cloudy atmosphere. Okay. And I think that truthfully, it's hard to have that beautiful sunshine, a ray of sunshine atmosphere every single day of our life, right? Some days we wake up and we just don't feel like it, right? Maybe business is not going the way I planned. Maybe a relationship's not going the way I planned. Maybe somebody shot me a text like 5 minutes before this call and it's not going the way I planned. That didn't really happen, by the way. Not yet, anyway. Maybe it's on there. I'm not going to look. So, we all have moments of frustration, disappointments, and really, to be honest, we have moments where we're just simply exhausted, right? I think about people right now. I know Karen Hill's on, and I think about our Canadian family and friends. I think about people up north, maybe living in the Detroit area and other places. And there's smoke going on right now. There's this ick when you walk outside. Well, I want to tell you that could put a person in not the most pleasant mood, right? It interferes with your breathing, it interferes with your oxygen, and it interferes with the beautiful sunshine and the clouds and all of this stuff, right? So at the end of the day, we have to fight frustrations. We have to fight against disappointment. We have to fight against being exhausted, meaning sometimes I just got to simply put in the rest to get over the exhaustion. But at the end of the day, I can't. I have to make sure that I'm not walking in the room, Alan Schultz, and I'm the atmosphere that's like cloud and lightning. And so people will notice. People will stop answering my phone call, or they will selectively answer my phone call. So I have to be the person that's determined that I'm going to choose how I show up in these circumstances and how I'm going to respond to them. Well, listen, it's we've heard this saying like people may forget what you accomplished, but they often remember how you made them feel, right? So Vicky, if I make you feel good, you'll remember that long after, right? Going, oh, he accomplished this, he accomplished, it doesn't matter. So how are we making people feel? It can be just calm, hopeful, encouraging, makes people feel good. But on the other hand, sometimes if I'm negative, if I'm complaining, if I'm a person that says, this is going wrong and they can't do this right and they, and I'm outwardly pointing all the time, it's draining and exhausting the energy that's put off. And so I have a choice. Disposition is something we can intentionally cultivate, right? So gratitude, humility, patience, right? Joy, grace are all habits that totally can shape the way we show up each and every day. So, my choice today and why I love this word is the fact that I get to choose it, right? I get to choose how I show up. No matter what it is outside, sunny or rainy, no matter what the text says on the other end, no matter if business, relationships, all these journeys, we know they're going to be like this throughout the day. So why not choose on how I show up? And I've got to fight against it. I got to fight against it on all those emotional reactions that come throughout the day. So, Andrea, I'll turn it to you. Great word. This was a great one for me today.
I thought this was a great word also, and it was a word I didn't know. So just so you guys know, we've talked about this before. Where do the words come from? Sometimes they come from books I'm reading and the words I had to look up while I was reading. I kind of had a rough idea of what this meant, but I didn't have the details on like what is really disposition. So, Coach, I appreciate your lesson. It helped educate me. I feel a little bit more educated. And I did have a little moment this morning because I realized that sometimes I can have a beautiful disposition and sometimes I don't. So I looked into how to improve that. So the quote that I found was, a positive disposition is not the result of perfect circumstances. It's the result of intentional choices. And I love that because I can be intentional. I can choose, dang it, I can choose. You guys know my love language is options. So my options can be to choose a more positive disposition. So today, what I'm looking into is how we can what we should choose in our disposition. So first of all, look for solutions instead of dwelling on problems. Whew. Isn't it easier though to dwell on the problems? I mean, we can look around and we can figure out what's wrong with the world pretty easily. What can be a little bit harder is to figure out what's right. But there are so many beautiful things that are right in this beautiful planet. So if we can focus there, that can help us improve our disposition. Next one is assume the best in people before jumping to conclusions. And I think this one can be difficult. Maybe it's just me. Am I the only one that can choose that finds this as a little bit of a struggle? And especially with the people closest to me. If my sweet son doesn't call me, I'm going to assume it's because he hates his mother and he never wants to talk to me again, instead of assuming that he got busy and he's having a really great time and he didn't have the opportunity. Like we can choose the reason behind it or what we're telling ourselves. So sometimes I can jump to negative conclusions. We're going to work on that we're going to improve our disposition in that place. Three, if we can choose a disposition that stays teachable, even when correction is uncomfortable. I hate when I do something wrong. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I want to do everything right. Unfortunately, I screw up all the time. I make mistakes. I forget things. I make slides that drive me crazy. I can have some things that drive me absolutely bonkers. But if I can be open to that correction, well, then I'm going to stay teachable and that's going to improve me as a human overall. Next, we can bring encouragement into every room we enter. Don't you love those people when you walk around them, they like encourage you in so many ways. When they believe in you more than maybe you believe in yourself, those things are so powerful. So let's be that person that brings that disposition into the room. Next, extend grace because everyone is carrying something we can't see. Everybody has tough days. Every single person, everybody has a history and a past and something that's going on. And we can bring grace into this world because guess what? We have no idea. No idea what's going on in somebody else's world. We just see their highlight reel, right? We go look on social media and everybody's life is perfect. Dang, even mine. And we've got to realize that that is all make believe. It's the highlight reel of our day. It's not our reality. Thank goodness we don't put all of that in the world because we could be a little bit negative. Oh, I'm so sorry, Tammy. Sorry, guys. Um, Sorry to hear about your loss, Tammy. Those losses stay with us for sure. Um, Respond with, oh, guys, we struggled with this one, so we got a lesson right here. Respond with steadiness instead of reacting emotionally. Well, we're learning, we're growing. This is a growth space for me because you know what? I react emotionally to everything. I think we all do. We just can kind of tamper it with logic in different moments of the day. We're going to work on that. And then lastly, reflect on the kind of person that we want to become. Who do I want to be? Who does Andrea want to show up for you? When you call me, I want you like, who do you want to be on the other line and who do I want that person to be? And respond and reflect that instead of just the mood that I'm in this moment. So for today, our little challenges before you speak or react, ask yourself, we're trying, guys. We're learning the lesson together today. Is the disposition I'm displaying, goodness gracious, creating the atmosphere I want to leave behind? So that's what we're going to ask ourselves. I'm going to put that in the chat because I had a really hard time saying it. But this is a great question to ask ourselves every day so that we leave the world just a little bit better than we found it.
Andrea, thank you for the lesson. And Tammy, I see in the chats and the comments, one thing about this community is we all circle around each other and support, right? We all come from different backgrounds, different places in this world, right? We have people on the Philippines, people listening in from Africa, you name it, Australia, all over Canada, United States, other places. And so, Tammy, we do, we pray for you and your family for the loss of your mom. We, we, we all love our mothers and we pray for you. And we just want you to know that. And one thing about community is we show up for each other. Andrea's had some very hard times losing her sister to a fight with cancer for a year and a half. She stayed in California a little over, and so it's tough. And so here's the deal. That's why community is so important, right? That's why coming together, locking arms, helping each other, having a community to come into every single morning and walk out of here with, to me, gives me so much strength. So this was beautiful this morning, Tammy. Again, we pray for you and your family. We love you guys. We hope you have an amazing Monday out there, and we'll see you back tomorrow. Have a great one.
Love you guys so much. Have a beautiful day.
Love you all. Love you,
Love you.
Andrea.
Thanks
Love
a lot.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
Love
Everybody
you
make it
all.
a great